Excel has provided us with several functions to help us make sense of huge pools of data. AVERAGEIFS is one of them. In the current worksheet, we can see a small example of the data we need to handle. This is the sales of the company for the year 2015. We have the date of the sale, the salesman, the district at which the sale took place, the kind of sale, bulk or retail, the type of the product, in this example we only differentiate the product by color, the unit sold, the price per unit, and the gross total of the sale. Of course, at a normal working environment, this data would only be a tiny fragment of the actual data we would have to analyze. We have already calculated, using AVERAGEIFS, the average of the gross total of the retail sales to the Eastern District in cell J6. Without AVERAGEIFS, such an automatic calculation would be impossible and the manual one would require several work hours. Let's suppose now that we need to calculate the average of the gross total of the bulk sales to the Western District in cell K6 using AVERAGEIFS. We select the cell and type the name of the function, followed by a left parenthesis. Then we enter the cell area we need to calculate, in our case H2 to H43. After that we define the cell range for our first criterion. In our example, this is the column of the kind of sale, from D2 to D43. Following is the criterion for this cell range. The criterion is that the type of sale is bulk. So we type inside double quotes equals bulk. We should note here that we can omit the equal sign if we want. Then we proceed to our next criterion. First we pick the cell range from C2 to C43 and then the criterion, which is the Western District. Take note that we chose not to use the equal sign now. Our function is ready, and if we press enter, we will see the result, which is $1,200. Following the same syntax, we can use up to 127 criteria ranges and criteria in an AVERAGEIFS function. Let's see one more example in cell L6. Here we have to calculate the average of the gross total of the small sales of products with color name starting with the letter B. As small sales, we consider all sales under 100 units. We type our function, as before, the average range, and our first criterion range. In this example, it is cells F2 to F43, 43, sorry. We type the criterion, which is less than 100. We cannot omit the less than sign, of course, since this is only valid for the equal sign. We proceed to our next criterion, which is the color, cell E2 to E43. Let's note here that we have to use wildcards to our criterion. We use B, followed by the asterisk, which includes both colors blue and black in our current example. Close the parentheses, we press Enter, and we have our result. This concludes our lesson on average ifs.